Well, uh, a trialist. Okay, I do a lot of clinical trials, and I've been the principal investigator, both in our region at our institution, but also a national PI. And a very wise cardiologist once said, "No matter how enthusiastic you are, you put your prejudices aside and you do the studies." And the highest level of scientific evidence for us, what we call randomized clinical trials. And that's the highest level of scientific evidence. Now, sometimes randomized trials are great, and it's what we hang our hat on in terms of accepting new technologies or saying it's promising, but it wasn't proven. Um, and sometimes these randomized trials don't capture low frequency events. You know, for instance, strokes in interventional cardiology. A stroke is a rare event, and maybe the way we capture the rate of strokes is we pool data from multiple trials. They go by several names, but we call these a meta-analysis. And if it's a low frequency event, we may do a meta-analysis. I don't think this is going to require a meta-analysis. I think the randomized trials that are planned are how we temper our unbridled enthusiasm for a new tech. And that is to say, you put your prejudices aside and you do the trials. And the trials will help to um, define whether or not this is going to change patient care, and if this is really a paradigm, as Dr. Morris pointed out, that and then what's also helpful is multiple trials from multiple different centers or geographies in the world. Sometimes different trials in different geographies on the same technology can yield different results. And we've seen plenty of examples of that. But it's really the randomized clinical trial or randomized controlled trial that defines how we move forward with technology.
Yeah, I agree with Dr. Rizik. The principle here is one of using evidence-based medicine to guide decision making. But as with all things in medicine, we innovate, and then we need the data to help inform us. And the innovation happens first, and then we need to gather the data. And as Dr. Isaac so nicely put, we need to do that responsibly and thoughtfully in order to inform us how best to use these new tools in terms of improving outcomes in care delivery. And so the frustrating thing is that we always want to have the outcomes data at the same time as we get the new information. But is a delay because it's outcomes, as Dr. Rizik has pointed out. It just takes some time. So, right now we're at the early aspect of this where we just now have it available, which is where the excitement is. And we have thought leaders like Dr. Rizik who are enlightening us as to how best these tools can be used in terms of enhancing the clinical pathway. And that's really where we are right now is in early stages of designing these trials in a thoughtful way to understand, again, how it can be best utilized to enhance care.